Yo, what's going on, everybody? Scotty Boots here, back again with another video. We're talking more about Scream and going to share how Sidney Prescott will be killed in an upcoming Scream movie. But before we jump into that, make sure to hit the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications, give the video a thumbs up. We're going to dive into this here. It's going to be some spoilers for the last Scream film here, Scream 2022, Scream 5. So if you've not seen it, stir away because there will be a couple of heavy bombs that will definitely be spoiled in this here. So come back and check this out after you've seen the movie because I've got some really great and strong thoughts and ideas for plot that they can do moving forward to successfully kill off Sidney Prescott. Now, Neve Campbell recently in an interview spoke out about the strength that that character brings to cinema and just how people have been inspired by Sidney and does not want that character to be killed. So coming from Neve's mouth herself, chances are we're not going to see Sidney Prescott get killed, but this is how I would do it, and this is how I think it could still be done. So come along on this little journey with me here. Going to share how I feel about this, my thoughts, my theory, something they can do that would be a very clever, interesting way to kill Sidney Prescott and make this work. So here we go. Could be any Scream movie. I don't think this would be the next one as, you know, Scream 6 or however this is going to be titled. But assuming, and based on what I kind of feel, that they're going to at least do a new trilogy here, this could be the cap end of this new trilogy, or once this trilogy completes, you come back for one final Scream movie, being Scream 8, and that would be the cap on this. This is how I would set this up for Sidney. Dig this, come along on this ride. This is going to be fun, all right? This is my theory here, and I think this would be dope if they pulled this off the right way. So, start the movie off. You put Sidney in the position of the opening scene like we have gotten for every Scream movie, all right? There could be a million different ways that this could go, so I'm going to vaguely go through this just so we're not getting insane with over-talking and overthinking all of this. But set it up with Sidney Prescott. The phone call comes in. It's ghost-faced. At this point, she's been through this so many times that she's no longer phased, right? This is almost like how Scream 2 was when she gets the call and it's very nonchalant, got caller ID. She's very just numb to all this here. And this could be an anniversary of sorts that's bringing upon calls, whatever the case is. She's not taking it serious, and that's kind of where we go. Now, Ghostface somehow is in the house or makes his or her way into the house. However you do it, you go through the whole fiasco. Eventually, she does get killed. And give her an honorable on-screen death, something very epic and amazing, because that's what we'd want to see. The same way that we saw Dewey go down needs to be a very honorable on-screen kill for such a monumental character. But you set Sidney up in the opening scene. Now, here's where things get interesting. You cut to the title just like we're all used to after that opening sequence. Now, when you cut back in, we catch back up with Dewey Riley. Except it's not Dewey Riley. Here's the kicker. It's David Arquette. All right? Not Dewey Riley, David Arquette. David Arquette's going to his phone, and he's making a phone call. Who picks up on the other line? It's Gale Weathers. Except it's not Gale Weathers. It's Courtney Cox. And it's meta as can be, dude. It's David Arquette calling his ex-wife. Courtney, did you hear about Neve? Right? Not Sidney Prescott getting killed. It's Neve Campbell getting killed. Think about how insane this would be for a plot for Scream to cap everything off and bring everybody back, right? As meta as they have gotten with this last film, you're within the Stab universe that's inside the Scream universe, and within that, we're following all of these rules based on first trilogy, classic horror rules. Scream 4, all based around the remake side. Scream 5, the requel. You go through this trilogy and cap it off or do one extra Scream movie, and you pull out from Stab, you pull out from Scream, and you do something where an actual fan or a couple of fans of the Scream franchise have snapped off and they're going after all of the actors within Scream. How epic would that be? You get that opening scene. What a bombshell that would be to see what we are perceiving as Sidney Prescott. You set it up, you do the dialogue the right way, where you as an audience feel like you're watching Sidney Prescott, and the whole time it's Neve Campbell. How amazing would that be? That cut to David Arquette to start the movie, and you're like, what the hell just happened? I thought he was dead. And then when he calls out to Courtney Cox, who you think is Gail Pig on the other line, and he says, Courtney, oh my gosh, dude, I would lose my shit if they did this and pulled it off the right way. And then to reference, Nev got killed last night. Someone in a ghost face costume killed Nev. However they plan on doing it, God, this would be so cool. I love this. I think this would be so awesome. There's so many fun things you could do with this. You can bring back every single person that was in some capacity tied to the Scream franchise. Multiple killers, fans just snapping off. You could tie in so much with pulling out from Stab and Scream and actual fans of these franchises wanting to go do something about making their own Scream movie, but set it in the real world. If there is a franchise that could do it, it's Scream. And now here's another really good reason as to why this would work and why this would be so badass. Going back to Wes Craven, you've got Nightmare on Elm Street. If you remember what Wes Craven did with the new Nightmare, that's exactly what I'm talking about right now. If you want to pay respects to Wes in such a way, like they just did with the last Scream film, it was beautiful how they pulled that off with the character Wes being killed, and then you're celebrating Wes at the big party back at the original home where Stu lived. It was just unbelievably perfect how they planned that out. Picture them paying tribute to Wes in this way. Spoilers for A New Nightmare here. Hopefully you've seen it because it is fantastic. But you go back to A New Nightmare where Wes pulled everything out of the Nightmare franchise, where you are actually with Heather Langenkamp as the actress of Nancy. And all of the Freddy movies are just movies. And you're pulling out of that. And then the real Freddy Krueger, the real nightmare stalker, demonic entity version of Freddy, still played by Robert Englund, is coming after her son. It is such an awesome movie how they pulled that off. If you did that with Scream in this exact way, tell me how much of a shocker that would be to see Neve Campbell get killed in the intro of Scream, thinking it's Sidney Prescott, and then you cut to Dewey, David Arquette calling Courtney Cox, and that's where you realize what's going on. And they pull out from Stab, out from Scream. We're now in the real world with actual crazy fans, because that's a deal. People want to have any kind of connection to celebrities, and it's always been that way, but it's more relevant now than ever. Everyone wants their 15 minutes of fame with social media, getting something to go viral, wanting to get, any kind of connection with a celebrity. Feels like, they know people because of their Instagram accounts or the movies that they play in. You feel like you've got these connections. Imagine them taking that and finding a better way than I'm trying to tell it right now, but just taking that source of everything and just turning that into a Scream film. I think it'd be amazing. So I could probably just talk on and on about this. I want to try to keep this short because I got tons of ideas, but I could definitely ramble and just spitball so much. So maybe we'll save that for another video, but the general core of what I wanted to get out is right there. So just imagine them pulling that off like that. They can have their cake and eat it too. You kill Sidney without actually killing Sidney, and it gives you such a unique spin and something different and fresh with this franchise that would just be incredible. I'd love to see it play out. So those are my thoughts there. Love to know what you guys think about this here, or if you've got any theories as to how they could kill Sidney, or just any plot things that you'd like to see moving forward. But this is top of my list. This just crossed my mind one day, and I started really thinking, like, how would they do that? I was like, oh my gosh, man, Neve Campbell said she does not want Sidney to be killed. You just kill her in the opening scene, and you go meta all over the place. So I'm infatuated with this idea. I love it. Want to know you guys' thoughts? Comment down below. Would love to know your thoughts. And again, subscribe to the channel. Please give the video a thumbs up, and we will see you all in the next one.